Hey everyone, so it's been about just over 24 hours since I had my tongue pierced. I'm starting to get used to it. It feels very strange, but it's starting to kind of feel like it's normal and it should be there. It's quite swollen. I've taken some ibuprofen this morning, and the piercer recommended taking them every 4 to 6 hours for the first couple of days. That's kind of helped a little bit. Unfortunately, this morning I had some bad news. So I found my cat had been hit by a car this morning outside my house. Somebody very nicely had covered her up, which is very respectful, but I think because of that and because of the stress of that and the upset and the crying, I think that's not helped very much with the swelling. It's probably irritated it a bit. So I've taken some medication, like some ibuprofen and that, but it is quite sore. It's throbbing a little bit. You can have a look. I mean, yesterday you could, when it was first done, you could see quite a lot of length of the bar sticking out, but now it's pretty much all you can see is the balls sticking out. I mean, you can't see much of the actual bar at all, but that is normal. That's just purely because of the swelling. I'm hoping it goes down in a couple of days because I get my exam results tomorrow. So I'm supposed to be going out for a meal on Monday. So fingers crossed I can have a nice meal without shoving food in the side of my mouth. Eating is a little bit of a problem. Everyone knows that with the tongue piercing, obviously that is going to be a problem. Last night I went out with my mum to the pub and I chose a fish finger sandwich, thinking, it's nice and soft, it'll be fine, I can just cut it up and squash it. It arrived and this was like a posh pub, so it was like thick doorstop bread with like proper fillets of fish in it, and I was just like, really not helpful. So I ended up cutting it into minuscule baby pieces and shoving it in the side of my mouth. I only finished half of it, but I brought half home and I heated it up and had it this morning, and that was fine. At the moment, it's a case of cutting things up into really small pieces and shoving them down the side of my mouth, and chewing. Because I think the thing with eating is that you use your tongue to kind of wipe away excess when you're eating, and kind of use it, try and get it towards the back of your mouth so you can swallow it, and that's what I can't do. So when I'm like chewing, I just have to be careful to move my tongue to the other side so I end up chewing my bar, and then it's just a case of trying to like move it using your mouth and your cheek muscles rather than using your tongue to move it around. And don't be scared of swallowing your ball either. I've been terrified of doing that. That's another thing when you're taking your ibuprofen or your tablets, whatever you're taking, painkillers. You'll probably feel like you've either swallowed the ball, one, or two, that you haven't swallowed the tablet properly and that it's still there. And after a second, you'll go, oh no, hang on, that's my piercing. So that's another thing as well. But yeah, it's hard because you feel as soon as you swallow, because you've got no control, that you're going to swallow this ball, but you won't. Well, some people do, but the majority, that's not going to happen to you, so don't worry about that. Been advised to tighten the ball before and after eating. Always wash your hands before you touch a piercing, obviously infection. I can see a little white ring forming around it this morning. That's obviously the scab beginning to form. I don't think there's much else. I don't think there's much else to tell you guys. So when it comes to eating, just be careful, obviously, with what you're eating. I'm going for the approach of eating as normally as I can, purely because I think that might help. But some people are saying, no, just stick to soup and ice cream and blah 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 for a couple of days. I'm just going to see how it goes. If I still feel like it's too painful, I might just stick to soup and things for the next couple of days. But at the moment, I'm just trying to eat as normally as possible, because with the stress of this morning as well, I'm bound to lose weight over the next couple of days. So I don't really want to lose an enormous amount, although that might be quite nice. I think that's about all I've got to say. yeah, obviously, in terms of cleansing it, obviously, yeah, tighten the balls before and after eating. Make sure they're all nice and tight and you can't move them. Um, Obviously, non-alcoholic mouthwash. Alcohol, yeah, don't drink alcohol at all. For the first it's 24 to 48 hours they recommend. I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to drink for 48, just to be safe. I'm going to drink on Monday, and I had mine done yesterday, which was Friday, so I'm going to leave it the whole weekend. I'm not a heavy drinker, I just like an odd drink of a night, like an Archer's and lemonade or a cider or whatever. She said don't drink any alcohol at all, it will make it bleed while it's still in the early stages of healing. So don't drink any alcohol whatsoever, just to be safe, and use a non-alcoholic mouthwash. Obviously, I got a Colgate one. It was like £3.49 from a Tesco, and it says on the front in huge letters alcohol free. So I'd pick something like that. It might be a bit more on the pricey side, but if it's going to help and it's going to make sure that you don't get infected and that it's not going to bleed or sting or whatever, then I think it's worth a little bit extra pennies. Apart from that, I think that's all I've got to say really. So I will keep you updated, and I will speak to you soon. Bye guys.